Hi guys, what's up? My name is Hannah and this is going to be my first YouTube video. I wanted to put a video out there giving my honest experience of what it's been like to be a bike courier for Deliveroo. I've had a very positive experience, but there have been times where Deliveroo hasn't been the best company to work for, and so I just wanted to put that all together in a video and give you like an honest snapshot of what it can be like to work full-time as a bicycle courier in the UK and how you can make a living doing that. You can make a good amount of money doing that if you're smart and if you follow some of these tips that I'm about to give, basically. So if you're interested in doing that, if you want to work for a company like Deliveroo, here are my tips. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to tell you the bad things about working for a company like Deliveroo and the good things about working for a company like Deliveroo. So if you want to hear that, if you're interested in joining Deliveroo, I will leave a link down below, and yeah, here are some tips and tricks on how you can make money cycling around your city. The most important things to remember with Deliveroo is that you have full flexibility over your hours, how many hours you do a week, and when you work those hours, basically, and you do not have a boss. No boss whatsoever. You heard me correctly. You're working on your own time for your own money, essentially. And by saying that you don't have a boss, you kind of do have a boss. You have Deliveroo watching over you at times to make sure, or Uber, whatever company you choose to work for, watching over you at times to make sure that you're, doing your job correctly, etc. But you don't have a manager giving you direct instructions, telling you to do this, this, and this throughout the day. You have to be self-sufficient. You're in charge of your own life, and so that is the mindset you have to be in if you want to do a job like this, basically. But that's not to say that being a bicycle courier, you are not entitled to have insurance and you're not entitled to have protections from, being outside on your bike and cycling. And so Uber potentially offers some form of insurance. I know for definite that Deliveroo offers a form of insurance that you can get for cycling around, but that is, just to preface this, that is something that you need to be very aware of, that you are self-employed and that you don't have a boss. So if that's the kind of work you're looking for, Deliveroo might not be for you, but if you want to be in charge of your own hours, your own everything, it's perfect for you. So it can work. So when I first started working for Deliveroo, I kind of said the same thing that everyone says, that Deliveroo was just like a second job for me, that I was going to keep my main bartending job and be doing Deliveroo on the side. And now the thing about that you start to realize is that you can make more money doing Deliveroo than you could do doing a minimum wage job, but doing more hours. So Deliveroo pays, or in my city, Newcastle, they paid $4.25 per delivery. When I began in the summer, I was doing around 2 deliveries an hour, but in November time, I was more doing 3, 4. The pay is definitely something which can be a massive draw for a lot of people. However, while the pay is a good thing, the pay exists by itself. There's just the money. You don't get the benefits of having holiday entitlement that you would in a typical job. You have to factor these things in. So while you can be making anywhere between £8 to £20 an hour, which is kind of ridiculous for delivering food on your bike, you also have to be aware that there are times where you could potentially be earning less than that, or there are times when you just have to know the right times to work, basically. And obviously in a food delivery job, the best times to work are going to be the evenings, around meal times, and the weekends. So you've got to be a smart worker and you have to fit your life around this kind of job, or the other way around. I mean, you can be as flexible and you can make this as flexible as you want it to be. So yeah, one of the coolest things for me about Deliveroo has been the opportunity to meet a bunch of different people from a bunch of different backgrounds. And I'm talking other Deliveroo riders or other cycle couriers and customers and people you meet out in public. Doing a job like Deliveroo, you have to have a lot of you know, one-on-one with the public. It looks like quite like a lonely job. You know, you see guys out there just, you know, huddled over on their bike, zooming through the traffic. But that's the reason why you kind of have to be able to speak to people as well, because you have to be willing to ask for help if something goes wrong, or help from friends, or yeah. So one of my biggest tips is to speak to other riders in your city. Find out if there's a group chat to get involved in, find out if there's some sort of Facebook page. Like, people have different ways of communicating within cycle courier communities and groups. For us, we use WhatsApp, and there was big WhatsApp groups, and then obviously, like, if we were better friends, you would break off into a small one. But I've met some amazing people through doing Deliveroo, some super creative people who want to be, you know, photographers or editors, and they're doing Deliveroo because you can do a creative job and be making money through Deliveroo and getting fit at the same time. And that's a great option. I'm gonna link some of my friends down below who are doing some different interesting things, just to show you like the different kinds of people doing Deliveroo. There isn't like one model of person, but it can be right if you need a flexible job. If you want to do something that is slightly out of the ordinary, Deliveroo might be a good option for you. But if you want to do it full time, what you have to be aware of is that you shouldn't only work for Deliveroo. And so that goes into my next tip of the way to make money as a cycle courier is to work for multiple companies. You can't be loyal to just one company, and it doesn't really matter anyway. Deliveroo is fully accepting of people working for multiple companies. UberEats is fully accepting of people working for Deliveroo. In fact, they say that they welcome the competition. So yeah, if you want to cycle and make money full-time cycling, you need to be signing up to UberEats. And now I'll link that in the down bar. I will link my sign-up link. And there are a few other companies. I don't necessarily want to say them because they might be specific to locations. Obviously, I was in Newcastle. That was a very good city for delivering food because it has 2 different universities. So that's a big customer base you've got right there. And obviously the universities would provide riders to Deliveroo as well. So you've got like a constant stream of riders and a constant stream of customers. So something to keep in mind is that your style of bicycle couriering is going to be very much dependent on how busy your city is and how many riders are employed in that city to cover the area. So you could be like super busy all the time, having 3 orders an hour, 4 orders an hour, or you could be, if you live in like, I don't know, Tunbridge Wells, you might be sitting around waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. A job like this really does vary from location to location. However, the good thing about this job is that you can work anywhere. You can work anywhere in the UK that you choose. With Deliveroo, you can, within the app, there is an option to change your location. So say you live in, I don't know, somewhere in London and you want to work in a different zone in London. As long as that is open, as long as there are spaces and there are people who are wanting food, you are going to be able to work there. You know, there is a lot of room for flexibility. You can travel and work. I have a friend who, she made her way from Newcastle to Bristol and she worked in each city as she went down, delivering food and, you know, just meeting different people and making money and getting to travel and make money while she worked. So yeah, I think this job can provide certain opportunities for people who might otherwise, I don't know, not get to do them or just not have the transport to do them. I mean, you have a bike, you are pretty efficient on your bike, you know, you can get from wherever you need to be to wherever you need to be. And that links into my next point. Cycling around is gonna make you so fit. You don't even know. So before I started this job, I wasn't fat. I've never been like super fat, but I was definitely like chubbier than I am now. And I have toned up, lost a bunch of weight, and I just feel so much fitter than I've ever been. And of course you're gonna be fit. Like when I was doing Deliveroo like a lot, I was doing it around 30 hours a week. So you can imagine 30 full hours of exercise a week, doing, you know, 40 to 50 miles of cycling a day. Like, you are going to get fit. You are going to get strong. Like, it's an empowering feeling. It's a good feeling. Yeah. But that leads into, this is not necessarily the job for everyone. Not everyone will enjoy being outside and getting sweaty and hot and, you know, feeling the world all around you as you're exercising and doing your job. It can get intense, and if you're not like prepared for that kind of working, then it's going to be different. But everyone who I've recommended bicycle couriering to, who has tried it, has really enjoyed it. And even if it's not your main source of income, it's working a job like that can almost be more empowering in itself, just because of the type of work that it is and because you don't have any boss. You are paid for the work that you do, for the orders that you deliver, hopefully. So that's a bad thing about working for Deliveroo or Uber or Stewart, or in fact any kind of startup company that doesn't already have like a foot in the market and hasn't been established for a while. They are going to try and like underpay you, or they're not necessarily trying to underpay you, but they will underpay you because they don't have their payroll department, you know, set up properly, or someone hasn't pressed a button on a computer. Because you have to remember, working this job is all through systems and it's all through an app. And so when things go wrong, it can be often blamed on the system, but there's always going to be a human behind it who can fix it. So yeah, you have to be kind of like savvy and willing to stand up for yourself and like be able to know the difference between what might be a tech problem and what is like a company trying to underpay you or not paying you on time or something. These are just things to be aware of. My personal experience, I was never underpaid by Deliveroo, except for in cases of where they promised us like a surge and they hadn't paid us the extra surge money. And there was always a way to chase them up, and I always managed to get my money in the end. But I have had friends who have had experiences where they've missed, you know, hundreds of pounds worth of money because of the fault of Deliveroo. But then it has always been like, it's always been remedied, and yeah, as long as you keep a record of things, you're gonna be fine, basically. But you've got to be smart, and you've got to, yeah, just be a smart employee. So that would be my main piece of advice, is to play the player and to kind of to be aware that these companies that you work for, while they can provide a good amount of money and you can become successful from them in whatever way you want to be, like, you have to be willing to play them as much as they're willing to play you, basically. So that is my final piece of advice. I feel like I haven't necessarily touched on like what it's actually like to cycle around, but I mean, I can make a video on that if you want, like what that entails, like exactly what I do. But I don't think that would be helpful describing that right now. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I've kind of given some tips, or just kind of like, I just wanted to share my experience of what it's been like and what I think, and just give you some sort of all-encompassing view on, yeah, bike couriering. So yeah, if you're interested in joining Deliveroo, if you're interested in becoming a bicycle courier, leave me a comment and like this video. if you want to hear more, if you want some more content about being a cycle courier. Try to include some pictures into this video just to kind of show you. I'll include like a before after picture of just how I look before and after, because I think that's kind of interesting in itself to see that like cycling can make you like really fit and toned, like just from cycling. Like I don't gym or anything, you'll see anyway. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, let me know if you have any other suggestions for videos or questions, just comment below. So bye guys!